Hello, everyone. It's me again. I'm here with part 5 of What If Marvel sold the opposite rights to their characters. And part 5 will be What If 20th Century Fox made an Inhumans movie. I know some of you would go for the Guardians of the Galaxy as the Fantastic Four, but the Guardians of the Galaxy that I'm more familiar with is the 2008 version, like the one we saw in the MCU. And it was hard to do the Guardians of the Galaxy because I knew I would have to go with the 60s version, but without wasting more time, let's begin. The first movie being Inhumans. Now, the film would focus on the origin story of the Inhumans. For who I would picture as the Inhumans, I think Ion Gophert, the actor of Mr. Fantastic, would play Black Bolt. I could see just Jessica Alba or maybe Bryce Dallas Howard as Medusa, preferably Alba. Crystal would be played by the actress who played Frankie in Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Korak would be played by the same actor who played the Thane in the Story First films. The villain would be Maximus, who I could picture being played by Julie McMullen. As for the backstory between him and Black Bolt, most of the film would focus on Black Bolt and Maximus's past and how Black Bolt was the favorite child of the king and queen of the Inhuman royal family and how Maximus wanted to secure the throne. And so this causes him and Black Bolt to have a fight, which ended with Black Bolt winning, and he becomes, the future king, and Maximus to be exiled from the Inhuman royal family, and Medusa, who Maximus tried to have for his wife, would be betrothed to Black Bolt, who become his future wife. And of course, the final battle would feature Maximus kidnapping Crystal and her being used as his brainwashed minion to try and kill Black Bolt. And so the final battle is between Black Bolt and Maximus, and Black Bolt wins again, and Maximus would be captured and would be held as prisoner and trial for his crimes. Next would be Inhumans Rise of the Skrulls. It was hard to think of a Galactus counterpart at first, but I felt like the Skrulls made sense in the end. Of course, the Skrull Empire would be the villains, like, the Skrull King. This could be Talos. Like, it could be Talos, I don't mind. And he would be played by Doug Jones, and this would also introduce a new Inhuman. That would be Karnak, who I could picture being played by maybe Zac Efron or probably Chris Pratt or Ryan Reynolds. I don't know. Beats me. But Karnak has an arc where he has to fit in with the Inhuman family and is having trouble because he would have started off as a slave of the Skrulls and then escaped. And the Skrulls seek the help of Maximus after breaking him free, and they want Karnak. And so Maximus agrees with the Skrulls' plan. And of course, Super Skrull would be one of the Skrulls that appear, but instead of having the powers of, the Fantastic Four like he normally does in the comics, he would gain the powers of the Inhumans. And during the final battle, Karnak would sacrifice himself to defeat Talos and help the Inhumans destroy the Skrull Empire, while Maximus and Super Skrull would escape. And of course the film would see the end of Maximus and Medusa's relationship because they get married. Not exactly the end, but it's just what happens at the end of the film. And of course, a romance between Korak, between Grogan and Crystal is also set up. And of course, the introduction of more Inhumans, one of which being Triton. There would have been plans for a third Inhumans movie, which would have seen characters like Jolene, Narius, and Alarius introduced, and a new villain named Maelstrom being introduced as the villain. But because the second film did poorly, they decided to reboot the franchise again in 2015 with Inhuman. Yeah, I couldn't think of a better title for the reboot, sadly. As for this film, the villain would see Maximus as the villain again, who would be played by Toby Kebbell, or maybe someone like, I don't know, maybe the actor who played him in the ABC show. Like, it would feature the ABC show cast. And, of course, the plot would be like a cut down version of the ABC show, like a movie version of the ABC show, minus Lockjaw appearing. And the movie would end up being really bad and fail, to the point where a sequel that was planned for 2017 would be canceled. And a lot of the blame would come from the studio, who ruined Josh Trank's vision for the Inhumans reboot. So that's what if 20th Century Fox made an Inhumans movie. And soon enough, we're going to get close to the end of the series, which will be what if 20th Century Fox made an Avengers movie. And I will see you all later.